Hello traders and welcome in a new daily market analysis video. It's brought to you by the market research team at PU Prime. Let's have a quick look on the markets. What do we have in our economic agenda and what do we expect during the day? Those are questions that we're going to answer in a moment. Please stay tuned. Welcome back everyone, and let's have a look on the economic agenda for today. Basically the 15th of March. We had some numbers from the Eurozone and the British economy regarding the average earnings index and the claimant count change. Basically, the numbers were positive, which basically supported the British pound during the early European session. Today also we have the German ZEW economic sentiment for the month of March. We do have the producer price index for the month of February, which is basically the secondary indicator for the inflation in the United States economy. It is supposed to be one of the most important indicators that we look for. However, because we are already looking for the Federal Reserve meeting, which is set tomorrow, so basically markets will not focus so much with today's PPI numbers, which is already supposed to come higher than expected, given all of the geopolitical tensions, increasing oil prices and so on. So that's for the economic agenda for today. Having a look on the US dollar index on the 4-hour and the hourly chart. Basically, we mentioned in yesterday's report that as long as we are trading below the 99 points, we are basically bearish on the US dollar. We have had this volatility move. It's basically consolidating around this level. However, we are still bearish. We are still having our bearish view technically on the US dollar index to basically continue the move downwards from the current level to the levels of support around 98 points. This is on the very short term. Having a look on the gold trading, which we mentioned in yesterday's report that we will be waiting for a break below 1958, so we can basically short the gold on the short time frame. We have had this brilliant downward move of around $32. We're talking about roughly 320 pips to the downside on gold. We are still bearish basically on the gold trading. However, during the day we might have a pullback or a retracement to the upside, because basically price has been going lower for quite some time now. We have been heading lower for $61 or $62. So a retracement to the upside might be due. However, any upward movement, any upward correction on gold should be a very good opportunity to add to our short positions on the short term. Basically, again on the US crude oil, we mentioned that a break below 105.16 was basically a key level to short from. We had this brilliant downward move. We are talking about roughly a decline of $8 or $8.5, $8.5, roughly 850 points on the US crude oil. So basically we are still also bearish on the US crude oil. We still have our targets around $90 per barrel on the US crude oil on the short term. However, as again we mentioned on gold, we're gonna mention on the US crude oil, an upward movement, a retracement to the upside might be due during the day. However, any upward movement on the very short term should be a good opportunity to add to the losing to the short positions and basically wait for more losses to the downside on the US crude oil. The last thing that we need to check is basically the US Dow Jones, still doing pretty much nothing around the same levels of 33,140. We have tried to create some sort of a top here. So basically we were going to the upside. We had our targets around 34,100. Having created a top here basically opens the door for more potential move to the downside. We might yet again test the levels of support around 32,500 before moving to the upside. So instead of going directly upwards, basically the scenario right now is something like this, to target the levels of 34,100. And that was all for today's daily market analysis video. Thank you so much for watching. Please wait for another videos and please stay safe.